Hey, I'm James and
I'm Jake.
what the hell are you doing back there?
Social distancing. Coronavirus is everywhere.
Get over here! Hey guys, how you doing? Today we have a comparison. That's right, we have the Dyna Street Bob, the Milwaukee 8 Street Bob. We're going to take a look at these bikes, look at the differences, take them for a ride, and report about how we feel. Nice of you to join us, Jake. So, you're a Dyna man.
So very much a Dyna man. And we're really, we're cheating because, let's face it, we didn't really say, let's get two that are incomparable. We always try to keep it fair. But we're comparing a Dyna to
a Milwaukee 8, which is probably the greatest engine ever built.
But we're not comparing the engine so much as the platform. And me personally, it's Dyna for the win, baby.
It's a Dyna, bro.
Dyna, bro. I do love the M8.
Yeah.
But I also, you guys know me, I love the Evos. I like the twin cams. I liked all of them.
Yeah.
It's pretty much hard for me to meet a Harley-Davidson I don't like.
No. Now, these are both terrific bikes, and we're going to take them out for a ride. I'll talk about them a little bit as we ride, then we'll get back together and we'll tell you what we think.
I'm so excited.
So with the engines though, so we've got a 107 over here and a 103.
Yes.
And these are stock, correct? They both have aftermarket
They both
lights?
have exhaust.
Okay.
But it's just slip-ons, and neither one have tune, neither one have intake. So this is really the most common configuration. Both of these are used bikes that are for sale here at the dealership.
Yep.
They were customer trade-ins, and I think that that's pretty much what we need to know. In the typical environment for these bikes, how do they do after the light modifications that somebody does?
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride.
I'm so excited.
And it's gorgeous.
About it. It's so gorgeous.
So
it's
gorgeous.
warm, guys.
80 degrees today.
There's no coronavirus anywhere to be found.
Not
I
here.
left it all back there.
So we're safe.
We're
We
so
are
safe, man.
You guys are safe because you're quarantined at home watching this. So why don't you go watch our other videos too while you're here?
Hey, I agree. That's a great idea.
All right, man. Should we get on these things? Cool. Alright, so I imagine right now it's telling you to subscribe and comment. Go ahead and do that right now. So we're off. I'm starting out on the Street Bob, the Milwaukee 8 version. Jake's up there on the Dyna Street Bob. Now, these are two bikes. I mean, the Street Bob, particularly the M8, is we sell a lot of these bikes, and we sell a lot of them because they are a really good all-round motorcycle. They're easy to ride. They really are effortless to ride. They're comfortable. They're a really good way to get into the big Harley-Davidsons with that big engine. We did say earlier that both of these have pipes, so the sound that you're going to hear in this video is definitely not what you'll get stock. If you want them to sound like this, you're going to have to put some slip-ons on at least, which is what these two have on, and it really does give them a, well, they sound better this way, don't they? Yeah, Street Bobs, they're really, really maneuverable. They're fantastic. Alright, so we're about to hit the bridge. We're going to talk about comfort. And on the Milwaukee 8, at least, it's very comfortable. The pegs are mid on this, which I think we've talked about before. I prefer forwards. I can deal with the mids, but you can always put forwards on this bike if that's something you need. The seat is kind of a stock Harley seat. Some people love them, some people do not love them. I generally always change seats. It's one of the first things I do when I buy a motorcycle, just because I want to be comfortable on it for a long time. So I would probably go ahead and do this on the Street Bob. The handlebars are mini apes, so that's already done for you. A lot of people like the mini apes, so Harley's gone ahead and already done that for you. And the speedometer up front there is the digital. It's all digital. It gives it a very kind of stealthy look because you don't have any big dials anywhere, and it's actually surprisingly easy to read in the sunlight. When these came out, I was a bit worried that if you were going down the road and the sun was behind you, it would just blank everything out. You wouldn't be able to see it. Not the case. It's actually pretty good. Even I'm wearing polarized sunglasses, and if I move funny, it sort of disappears. But if I keep my head sort of straight looking at it, it's fine. No problem at all. It's a very smooth bike. The Street Bob, or the 2020 Street Bob, it's very, very smooth. As is all the Milwaukee 8 Softails. That's a characteristic they now have, is just smoothness. Engine braking on it is fantastic, as it is with all Harley-Davidsons, and the 107 produces a huge amount of power. I mean, yeah, it's fantastic. And this one sounds really good. I mean, to be honest, aftermarket pipes do sound good. They make these motorcycles sound like they should. Jake's a little bit louder, a little bit louder with the Dyna. I think he has Vance and Hine pipes on, and I'm not sure what these are actually on this one. I'm not sure what pipes they put on. But so if the Street Bob was sort of your first big motorcycle, it's a great way to go because it really is easy to ride and it's very forgiving. The mid controls, they definitely do give you a little bit more control. I know I've said it doesn't make a massive bit of difference, and it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but you definitely, with the mids, you feel like you can kind of just control it a little bit better than with the forwards, but it's negligible, so I wouldn't let that be a deciding factor on buying a motorcycle. But this bike being so light, and you've still got that big Milwaukee 8 engine, that, you know, the same engine that the touring bikes have. So take those, shrink it down to this really small and svelte package, and you've got a really, really quick machine. It's really fun to ride. One of the downsides of making it so lightweight is the tank shrunk. So you've got a small tank on this, so you're going to have to fill up more often than, you know, if your friends are riding and they've got the big 5-gallon tanks, you're going to have to fill up more than they do. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. But it's all there to make it a bit lighter. Low speed maneuverability is very good on these. It's a very well balanced chassis. They really nailed it with these new Softails. The chassis to me is just spectacular. It's so smooth, it's so refined. It's just a great engine. I really enjoy it. I tell you what, that Dyna sounds great though, doesn't it? That is a good sounding motorcycle. So yeah, I mean, it's got more than enough power, to be honest. You know, the 114 is nice and everything, which, you know, you kind of get that in a Street Bob. I suppose if you know, do stages, you could, but it's not, right out of the box, it's not bad. And as soon as you put pipes on like this, you feel like you're on a real Harley-Davidson, and it's fantastic. Yeah, on these corners, you can just bend it right down, really, really easily. Just no bother at all. Isn't it brilliant when you get back to spring and you can just get back out on your bike and not be shivering at the end of the ride? It's just fantastic. It really is brilliant. I love it. So coming up to New Construction Corner, this is where these motorcycles really shine, because you can just, they're so lightweight, so maneuverable, you can just flip them over and they keep going. Now when I say lightweight, that's nice. When I say lightweight, I'm talking about lightweight compared to other Harley-Davidsons. I realise that I think this is about 450, 460 pounds, something like that. It's not a light motorcycle, but compared to the other Softails, and certainly compared to the touring bikes, it's a light motorcycle. It's great. You got the wind in your face. I love it. This is how I like riding motorcycles. No fairing, no windshield, just, you know, just me and the elements. Love it. So we're going to switch up now. I'm going to jump on the Dyna, and I'll let you know the main differences. I can tell you right now, the main difference is going to be, it's not going to be as smooth as this. The Milwaukee 8 is just a fantastically smooth. So I will, yeah, let's, right, we're going to trade off here. I know he doesn't want to give that bike up. I bet he don't want to give it up at all. Awesome. Come on, get off. There we go. I told you don't want to give it up. Yes, yes. Oh, it does sound good. That does sound really, really good. Yeah. All right, so we're off right off the bat. Okay, first initial impressions right off the bat. It definitely has more vibration, which is to be expected, just the way this is. It's a very different sounding engine. The characteristic is very, very different. I suppose in some ways it's a much more traditional. Are we going to get the green light? Is that the first time we've ever got the green light here? That's a bloody miracle. Fantastic. Well, anyway, the engine characteristic is very different. The Milwaukee 8 is just very, very smooth, whereas the Dyna here has that twin cam. It's very, I'm not going to say it's unrefined, because that's cruel, but it definitely, it shakes you a little bit more. You can feel the vibrations in your arms and in your bum. One other thing I'm noticing right off the bat is the frame. With the Softails, the new 2018 above, they changed the frame completely. They made it a little bit stiffer. You can definitely feel that. The Dyna one right now, it feels more, it's not a bad feeling anyway, it just doesn't feel as sharp, if that makes sense. It's not as tight, that's the word I was looking for. But on low speed turn-in, I mean, no bother. It's just, it's fantastic. I tell you what though, it does sound good. The twin cam engine just sounds, it's a great sounding engine. It's got like a soul that the Milwaukee 8 sometimes lacks. Even with the pipes on, the twin cam really just has that soul. And you can get them down, I mean, as far as drivability goes, this is essentially exactly the same as the 2018. You can get it down, it leans over, it likes to lean, it's rev happy. It's not as powerful, and you can tell the difference between the 103 and the 107 almost right away. You don't have as much horsepower. You know, when you really crank it, it still goes fast, don't get me wrong, but it's not, just doesn't have quite that right there. But it sounds fantastic. I don't know if the microphone's going to pick it up, but it's got this lovely little, when you decelerate, it just kind of in the back. It's great. I'll shut up for a minute, see if you can hear it. Alright, so we're pulling back into the dealership now, and we'll give our final thoughts. For my money, I would probably go with the new one, the M8. I like the Dyna, don't get me wrong. If I had it, I'd be more than happy. But I think I just prefer the slightly more refined engine characteristics of the Milwaukee 8, and I like the frame better. I think the suspension's a little more... is suspension accurate? Well, it's a little more accurate. So we'll see you on the top, and we'll talk about what we think.
Okay, Jake, so final thoughts, mate. After taking out the M8 and the Dyna, we know where you're going, right?
Yeah, 100%. I stand 1,000% by exactly what I said earlier. Guys, if you've never rode one, you just need it in your life. The M8 does make more power, and you know, a couple things that I hear a lot of talks about. The Street Bob in the M8 configuration weighs 655 pounds. It's light with lots of power. This weighs 640. For the 103, it's still lots of power. And arguably, I have heard a lot of people say that twin cams, you can feel the torque more. You can feel horsepower with the Mickey. And like, to me, the twin cam never let me down. The M8's just, I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Yeah.
After getting off of this and onto that, I was like, okay.
All right, okay, so I'm going to jump to the Milwaukee 8's engine, to its defense. To the Milwaukee engine's defense. That's what I was going for. It just all came out too fast.
It happens. You got Dyna fever, don't you?
Dyna fever. No, I don't.
Coronavirus?
No, not that
Oh,
either.
okay,
I have
just
nothing. I will defend the M8 because this engine is arguably much more refined than the Dyna. Actually, I don't think it's not even an argument. It just is. This is a more refined engine than that.
Yes,
you can tell that because when you turn on the Dyna, the handlebars, you know, they're like doing this.
Yeah, but that's
handlebars on this, they're like Schwarzenegger's arms, just.
But this is
strong like bull.
This is America vibes right here. Okay, America vibes.
So maybe
what that is.
So this is maybe more European.
Oh God, I wouldn't insult it that bad. No, I'm just kidding. Guys.
No, but I mean the refinement. One thing I will say about this, which I don't like, two things. Not a huge fan of the digital speedometer.
It's the only part I like.
See, there we go. And the tank. They should have just kept the tank, the big tank. This is 3.5 gallons. It's just not enough. You're going to have to stop and fill up way too many times. Whereas on this, what's that? 4.5, 5 gallon, 4.5. So it's a lot more. So you can go further. But as far as the engine goes and the actual frame, to me, this is just a much more refined motorcycle, and I prefer riding that. I'm a refined fellow. What can I say?
I'm just
I am
not.
just a refined. Well,
I'm
clearly.
stuck in 2010, guys.
You're stuck in
I-
1979, Jake.
Probably so.
You weren't even born then. You were stuck there, though.
I think so. But guys, don't get me wrong. I like the new Street Bob. I can't just. I mean, I could just rag on the thing, but it's good. It is a good platform. I really think, obviously, it's an ideal starter platform when you're getting off your Sportster and you're getting on to your first full frame, your big twin.
The perfect leaf.
This is
Yeah.
great if you want to go new, but I'm going to tell you right now, and I just hate to say this, I'm all about buying new bikes. I love new bikes. But this is the almighty Dyna, man. I can't let it go, guys. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think either way, if you were to buy the Dyna or the M8, you're not going to go away unhappy.
Oh, of course
I mean, you're not going to go away unhappy. If you're looking for something that is a little bit more refined, that gives you more of a comfortable ride, doesn't rattle the teeth out of your head, this is the way to go. If you like losing teeth, this is the way to go.
So the way to go.
The way to go. So anyway, I think we pretty much covered it, right?
Oh, I want to ask you guys, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Which would you rather be seen? And better question, not that we condone that behavior, but which one wheelies better? I mean, come on.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Subscribe and take care. Bye.
Yeah.